2012, Bleach ended its 8-year-long anime run without adapting the final arc of the manga. Dubbed as part of the Big Three, it almost felt like the end of an era. Fast forward to 2021, a trailer dropped that would make rounds in the anime community. I literally screamed! And so did every single one of you. Bleach is a franchise that has always stood out with its deep lore and world building. Fight scenes that got seared into my memory, the emotional tolls that each arc brought the viewer, and characters so well developed they could write a self-help book. I mean...
Father Slide Attack says, this way to the top! FBI, open up!
When you peel back the layers, and layers, and layers, what you're left with is this. This shit right here is what that young really wants. It's not the jugs I was interested in, but the heart-pumping action that followed every arc, every fight, and the soundtracks that just absolutely elevated every scene. A 19-year-old anime got people raving and ranting like there's no tomorrow. Oh, please, Mr. Kubo, please feed us. I was one of them. Although it didn't have me running and putting up gang signs like Naruto, it did very much define my childhood. Love it or hate it, Bleach has been a cultural phenomenon, boasting 366 episodes of action-packed goodness. Let's roll that back.
You must take my Zanpakuto and run it through to the center of your being.
If a complete stranger asks you to run a blade through the center of your being, huh? The first arc is where we're introduced to the cast, Sato. His nickname is literally Chad. Uryu, he plays with bows. Inoue, Khan, your resident pervert. And Urahara, Walmart Doraemon. This Saving Private Ryan arc starts off with Ichigo, quietly and covertly, infiltrating Soul Society to save Rukia from getting executed, as they make their way through the inner circles as quietly as possible.
Guess he's over there.
The head captain calls an emergency meeting to deal with the situation. Captains, it seems as though we have an intruder in our midst. Since we barely get any intruders here, to make things interesting, put your blindfolds on and make this at least somewhat fair. Oh, not you, Tozen. Also, fights will be one-on-one, no captains are to interfere with another captain's fight, and we will give the intruder ample time to recuperate after each battle. Sound good? Go! Then I regain all my powers, and more arc starts off with a simple premise of Ichigo attaining new powers through hollowification. He falls into a deep pit of despair as he slowly turns into the thing that he himself despises. His persona starts changing, and as everything starts to fall apart, he's introduced to the Visors, a gang of homeless ragdoll junkies. Through his extraordinary training, he is finally able to control the beast inside. Despite the level up, encounters antagonists that beat the living shit out of him. Even I feel bad for him at this point. Antagonists like Sasuke Aizen, the light Yagami of Bleach, who fakes his death in such a Banksy fashion, who perfectly fits that deep villain archetype plotting to take over the world. As the epic battle between Soul Society and Aizen's army of Arrancar begins, the then overpowered Arrancar are slowly dismantled one by the captains who seemingly get this level boost out of nowhere, leaving Aizen to take matters into his own hands. Yet all that was simply foreshadowing the absolute war that's about to happen. Ultimately, it just boils down to Ichigo showing off his new final form.
Ichigo.
See you around, Rukia.
Huh?
Well, at least it's not goodbye.
2,000 years later.
Any ideas on the direction of the show? Censorship! Wrong!
Of course not, don't be silly.
Slow pace.
Shit! Yawak, the father of all Quincy's, decides it's time for world domination. Ichigo, on the other hand, yeah, he didn't like that. Old man Yamamoto didn't like it much either. But that's not the highlight, you know? Apparently Yamamoto was just our appetizer for this season.
What fools.
They played us hard, revealing the most important details casually, like it's the most natural thing. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, Kubo hits you with a caricatured finale that'll leave you screaming! The upcoming season is about to get even more intense, with the new trailer giving us a tantalizing hint of what's to come. Ichigo is featured wielding his new Zanpakuto, with not one but 2 blades. Oh my god, 2 blades too! Exclusive fight sequences, remixes of iconic soundtracks, and the introduction of new aesthetic elements contributed to the overall experience. Tight Kubo aimed to deliver a faithful adaptation of the manga. The animation quality, pacing, attention to detail impressed even the most hateful viewers out there. Ichigo grapples with the weight of his responsibilities and his own identity, transforming from a reckless teenager into a full-fledged warrior. The weight of knowing that Soul Society is about to perish, every single one of your comrades is on the brink of death, so many lives have been lost. Such is the nature of war. This truly shows us the anime adaptation really pumps up the violence and stays true to the manga. It's not just a gorefest like Gantz. The violence actually adds depth and impact to the battles. I mean, we're talking about heads exploding, straight up executions. This right here solidified it for me. Bleach is no longer holding back, no more censorship. Every episode was a heart-clenching, emotional roller coaster that had me at the edge. Bleach is a world filled with diverse characters that get you to really care. Characters that have their distinct personalities. Then there's Momo. This. She's the 1% that no antibacterial soaps can ever clean. A visible flaw that makes me wanna... Sayonara. There's a damn sword in you! Nani? Bleach might have too many characters that it's easy to get lost in who's who. But if you take the time to really get into the series, you'll find that each persona is dealing with their own inner battles that go way deeper than the surface level. Bleach is now 2 decades old. Despite a decade-long absence on air, the studio behind Bleach absolutely delivers on every aspect of the show. The pacing doesn't feel like a slugfest. The character designs truly show how detailed and expressive each scene is, the emotions conveyed through every sword. You get emotionally attached as the sound design and voice acting entrances you in the sadness of war and death. The helplessness of each character as their hopes are crushed, and one by one, they're pushed to the absolute limits as their comrades die right in front of them. The screams of the excellently drawn mob characters that you'd think each were a main protagonist. The final season of Bleach might not be perfect, but it does close the chapter on what could be the best anime of the season. I, for one, enjoyed it. I hope you do too.